All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's step right into it. This is the no bullshit guide to stepping into the best version of yourself. At the end of this video, I'm going to give you a PDF that I want you to download, that I want you to use every single day. I actually got this from one of my mentors, Sam Ovens, who is at this point probably going to be a billionaire entrepreneur. He's the founder of school.com and consulting.com. This is one of my favorite tactics that I learned from Sam, and it's how to measure your performance to make sure every single day you're performing at 100% of your full potential. Meaning, in that day, how can you absolutely squeeze as much of that day as possible to where any given day you could operate up to 100%. Let's just say 100% is the max of your full potential. So if you wake up one random Tuesday, that Tuesday you can accomplish up to 100% within the constraints of that simple day. Now, with Sam's tracker that I'm going to show you in a second, and I'm actually going to put the download link below this video, you can actually access it. This video, I'm going to give you the theory behind it, but most importantly, I want this to actually be a video that actually helps you. I don't want to be one of those channels where you watch it, it feels good, you get the ideas for like 10 minutes, you feel like you're pumped up for 10 minutes, and then after that, nothing ever changes, and you're back to the same old routine 2, 3, 4, 5 days later. I don't want it to be like this. I'm going to give you Sam's PDF, and I want you to print it. I'll talk about it later. I want you to print it on your desk, and I want you to work on it every single day until it becomes a habit. So I want this channel to genuinely be life-changing and genuinely be actually useful so that you want to follow and you want to stick around. That being said, give me just 5 minutes, and I'll explain everything and how it works and all of that. Again, so when it comes to getting rich, and this is like a high level overview, when it comes to getting rich, there's two things that really determine whether or not you're going to get rich, right? Generally. The first is the business model, right? Now, everybody here is going to have a different business model. You might do e-commerce, you might do drop shipping, you might do Amazon FBA, you might have a consulting business, you might run ads, you might have an agency. It could be you might even have a local brick and mortar business. Who knows, right? I can't advise you on your business model because I don't know your situation, I don't know your schedule, I don't know your life story. Everyone's going to have a different business model. It's not really about the model. There's sock companies that make billions of dollars. It's more so, and this is really what I want to talk about, is but the person behind it. If you put Elon Musk in your business model, I promise you, no matter how saturated you think it will work. Or if you put a eight-figure entrepreneur in your business model, they'll make it work, right? So it's not the model, it's not the strategy, it's you. Okay. So that being said, I can't advise you on the business model, but if you do everything you can do today, and if you are able to transform into the best version of yourself, you're able to take even just an average model or even a super difficult business model and you're able to transform it. Okay. So for example, let's just say, again, let me go back. This is going back to what I was saying earlier. Let's just say it's a random Tuesday. Within that day, if you could visualize the absolute best performance, like if there was a clone of you and that clone was the best version of you possible, right? The version of you that would never lose, the absolute full potential. What would that day look like? Maybe they'd wake up early, maybe they'd do a little bit of meditation, they do deep focus work. They wouldn't be on Instagram, they wouldn't be on YouTube. They would be fully focused. Their emotions would be stable, they wouldn't be frantic. They'd be focused, they'd be taking their supplements, they'd be getting their water, they'd be eating healthy. And at the end of the day, the output is like 3 times greater than your average self. If you're able to do that every single day, it's very hard to not achieve everything you've ever wanted to achieve. That's why you're watching this video. Now, I want you to really think about that for a second. Because if you can squeeze output and performance out of yourself like never before and double or even triple your output, again, of course, I'm taking into account prioritization, I'm taking into account deep focus work. I'm saying if it was the best version of you that you can possibly imagine, not like just, and I want you to focus on today or tomorrow. Like I want you to focus in daily increments because it doesn't really help you to thinking about next week or next month. Like do all that you can do today because that's what's in front of you. Don't look at the mountain, stare at your boots. A lot of people stare at the mountain for too long and they get paralyzed. They don't actually stare at their boots. Okay. So this is very important. Like imagine you do this let's just say tomorrow. Tomorrow you map out you visualize for like 5 seconds, and you map out, okay, if I was the absolute best version of myself tomorrow, I would wake up at this time, I would do this, I would do this. It's going to be different depending on your business model and, what you're trying to achieve, right? Map that out, and then tomorrow try your very, very best to become that person. And it's going to be hard, and you're not going to get 100%, but you might get 80%, and then that's a lot more than your regular day. And then the day after that, you might get 85%. And then you might come back down, and you might have a bad day, and you might come back down to 50%. And you realize, damn, I really didn't do that well that day. And I want to be very clear. I'm not talking in terms of output, right? Like, I'm not talking in terms of like things that you're able to actually, like, for example, let's just say you're a salesperson. You're not measuring this by how many deals you close, because you can't control the outcome of whether or not someone closes. You can't mind control people, but you can perform at your absolute full potential if you did role play, if you did practice, if you did everything you were supposed to do. Okay, so controlling what you can control, you can control sometimes the market or prospects, of course, but controlling what you can control, they do perform at your 100% full potential. And some days the answer is going to be no, and that's okay. But it's way better than you would have otherwise, and you can course correct and you can make adjustments. If you did that for 30 days, I mean, you would be a legend. Like, you would achieve everything you ever wanted to achieve. You would, and I want you to, guys, I really want you to think about this. Even if you take someone who's not that intelligent, right? Again, I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying, like, in a hypothetical, if you take someone who's not that intelligent and, they're just not, I don't know, like, let's just say they're not the most capable in any way, but they're able to do this. They're able to live up to their full potential every single day and actually like live up to those standards, and they can make it into a habit and do that every single day. They're going to be the best version of themselves. Everybody has some sort of ceiling. My point is, if you get close to that, it doesn't matter what the business model is. You will get rich either way. You will achieve the things you want in life either way. And obviously, there's a lot of intelligent people here, so that was beside the point. But you understand what I'm saying. And guys, I want to be clear. I'm not necessarily talking about like brutal hard work. That's not what I'm preaching here. A lot of people on YouTube, I mean, you're not gonna just work as hard as you possibly can and just, like, just go crazy and work 17 hours a day, don't sleep, and just work. That's not really what this is about. This is about being the best version of you, right? How to actually step into the new you. And I just want to put that caveat because I think it's really important. Meaning, let's just say a Friday. How do you make that day the absolute best possible? How do you live up 100% to your full potential? That doesn't mean you're going to work 24/7. Like, if you're the best version of yourself, you're also going to take breaks. You're also going to know when to let loose, when to have fun. It doesn't mean you're just going to work like a psychopath, because a lot of times, if you work like a psychopath, the truth is you're not being very efficient. So if you were the absolute best, how would they do it? They would take breaks, right? But their breaks would be going for a walk, getting a shower or a bath, you know, unwinding in specific ways. That the current you is probably like going on social media and getting this dopamine overload, etc. That version of you, if it was the absolute best, they would do different things. They'd be reading books to unwind, or they'd be hanging out with their spouse. But maybe you currently, whenever you hang out with your spouse, you like watch TV, or you just do something that isn't the best thing. Where if it was the best version of you hanging out with their spouse, they would do something more fun, more outgoing, that actually recovers you, whatever that might be, right? So again, this doesn't mean work 15 hours a day, but every single day you want to squeeze as much fun, not only with your work, but also with life. You want to squeeze the juice out of life as much as possible and live it to its full potential. So that being said, guys, here's the action step. I want to dive into it. I'm going to share with you guys the performance tracker. Again, this came from Sam Ovens, who is, at this point, a legendary entrepreneur. And here it is, right here. This is the daily performance tracker. Let me move my face out of the way. So as you can see, I shared the link below. You can go ahead and download this. So open it up on your computer. There's a little three dots, and then click download. Download the PDF. And what I'd recommend you do is print it. Okay, don't just have it digital, because when you have it digital, you're never going to look at it again. Let's be honest. You want to make it almost like annoyingly obvious. Like, you want to put it, like, I have it here right next to my desk, my version of the tracker, You want to literally print it, get some tape, and put it on your desk. Or you want to put it on your whiteboard. Or you want to put it on your wall. Wherever you can physically put it, because when you physically have something and you're physically writing it, it doesn't just go away, right? When you have it on your computer, you can just never open the file again. Or you bookmark it, but you never open it again. So I've tried doing this on the computer. It just doesn't work because you forget about it, you don't prioritize it, etc. Guys, there's nothing more important than this. I mean, every product, there's a lot of great like YouTube channels out there of like productivity. There's a lot of great ones, but it doesn't matter if you don't actually make it a habit. It's not about one day being productive. It's about how do you achieve this level of output to where you not only you beat all your competition, but it doesn't matter what business model you do because you're going to be you're so competent and you're so powerful and you're the best version that you can be. You can do anything, but I mean pretty much as long as it's like a reasonable business model and you'll make money, you'll get rich and you'll actually achieve your business goals. Okay? In my opinion, this is the most important thing in the world. So guys, make sure you print it and every single day at the end of the day or throughout the day, fill this out. So as you can see, here's the date over here and the time you wake up, the time you exercise. This is the morning mindset. So like, did you kind of like visualize what the day would look like, what the best version of the day would look like? Did you step into that new person? What time did you start work? What time did you end work? And this is the most important column, guys, performance, right? So out of 100% of what the day could have been, not just work, guys, but also standards. Like the best version of you, they have standards. Like, are they going to eat a piece of cake? The best version of you. If they could make that day the best, no, of course they wouldn't. Would they drink, 60 ounces of water or whatever the measurement is? Yes, they would, right? So it's not just work, it's everything because the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. If you're excellent in one area, it's going to be easier to be excellent in every other area of your life, right? So again, it's not just work, it's everything. How did you perform mentally? Do you feel like you excelled mentally today? Again, put your honest answer and then night mindset over here and the bedtime. Track the bedtime there and you can see the trends. Guys, putting this on paper is some of the most powerful things ever. So what you'll notice is if you do this and you're actually a gangster and you're watching this and you're actually serious about improving your life, you're not just a casual viewer. Most people watching this aren't going to do this. But if you are going to do this, and I commend you, what you'll notice is you'll do it for 2 to 3 days and then you'll fall off. And then you'll do it for 2 to 3 days and then you'll fall off. That is what is super, super difficult. If you can do this for 30 days and you could live close to that potential or at that full potential, guys, I don't want to keep making the video longer, but like it's so mind blowing how powerful this is. Like it truly is. This is mind blowing. Like anybody can transform themselves into the best version of themselves, and it is their full obligation and full duty to be able to do so. They just have to make it a habit. So when you do this, you'll be very motivated in the beginning, and then you'll start to notice, oh man, I messed up here. Oh man, I messed up here. Don't get demotivated. Just use it as feedback and then learn from it the next day. It helps also to have some sort of journal, some sort of place where you write down what can be better, right? Guys, you're going to have priorities in the business. Nothing is more important than this. Like I keep saying that, but it's so true. So again, make sure you do it for 30 days. One day you don't want to skip a single day. Like if you skip a day, like it's hard. But if you do, obviously just come back and just pick up where you left off. And then do it again and again and again and again. Imagine yourself doing this for 2 years. Imagine if for the next 2 years, you were the absolute best version of yourself. You were in the best shape. You had the best mindset. You had the best business. Like you were just on point. You did everything you're supposed to do. You were super organized, super on point. You tracked all your finance. Like everything was just the best it could be. Again, we're not judging things that are outside of your control. You're judging what you can control, your performance. Okay, guys? Guys, that's going to wrap up the video. I don't want to make it longer than it has to be. I'm going to put the tracker below, and then you guys could learn more about that. If you want to learn more about working with me and our accountability services, that way you can we actually help you do this, and we have people messaging you to check you one-on-one and make sure you did, like someone actually like a real person, not AI, not a bot, like me, a real person is checking on you to make sure, hey, day 6, day 7, did you do this? Did you do that? We have a free trial for that. If you want to learn more, there's a link below, but I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, guys.